Hello and welcome to Third Act Film, where today we're going to be discussing not just who should play Robin, but possible options for which Robin it should be in the DC universe. I'm Todd James, and pitching me these ideas is James Forbes.
Hello.
Alright, James, as you would say, kick us off.
Yeah. You ready to get your mind blown?
Well, ready-ish.
So there's been five main Robins.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And let's start off with the first one that
Okay.
we all know. Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Do you mean Dick Grayson?
Dick Grayson.
We are
even.
off to a flying start. Right.
Who's Dick Tracy then?
Thunderbirds? I
think
don't
so.
know.
Dick Grayson.
Right.
Mr. Grayson. And the kind of... This is a bit weird because I've kind of done it. Although they can go with any of the options, I've kind of done it each actor at the age if that they were all existing they would be. If that makes sense?
Right.
So like
okay.
Dick Grayson, he would be much older than the rest.
Yeah.
And whilst someone like Tim Drake would be slightly younger,
Mhm.
like in his 20s.
Mhm.
But for me, I see like Dick Grayson being about late 30s, just before he's 40.
If we're going with Batman in the Man of Steel films, where I
Yeah.
think he's meant to be mid to late 40s, possibly early 50s.
He's possibly around the 50s, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like that 10-year gap between
Yeah.
them. I'm going with my favourite, Matt Bomer.
Yeah, you do like Matt Bomer, but that is a good suggestion.
I feel like he can play the good... Because Dick Grayson's always been the more good version of the... along with Tim Drake, but like the goody two-shoes
He's like
version.
the original
Boy
Holy
Wonder.
Jillica's Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could see Matt Bomer deliver that like I'm a good honest boy who had a tragedy when I was younger,
Yeah.
and this is what I've turned out to be, and I feel like he could carry being Nightwing of someone who's like,
Yeah.
oh, you need my help, Bats, and he can do that kind of cheeky and like banter between the two,
Yeah.
and then you got Batflick just being like, go away, I hate you, I hate everything.
You were the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Matt Bomer's there with a massive smile, like, "Oh hi!" I could see
I'm
that.
helping.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Do
a
you
good
see
choice.
that one? Yeah,
You do pick him for everything.
I do. Yeah.
Link here, maybe. Anyway.
Then the next choice for me was so going down in age. We're going to Jason Todd.
Okay. Good last name, that boy.
Yeah, I've heard it somewhere. Aaron Paul.
Okay.
I'm like
Yeah.
not sure how you
There
would
was a big
respond.
physical reaction to that from you, but yeah.
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 Now, Jason
I mean,
Todd-
sell it to me a bit. Come on.
Yeah,
Give me the
Jason
spiel.
Todd is the disappointment. He's the one. Well, he is. He's
Yeah.
like the way that he meets Batman is that he breaks into the Batmobile. That's how they meet,
Yeah.
and Batman's like, "What? How the hell did you get into my car?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I do all the time. I'm like really resourceful like that." And he's the one he's like the first Robin to kind of challenge the idea of like, yeah, why don't you just kill him? And he's also the one who later on becomes the Red Hood, and that's his lineage and the hero that he becomes. And I could see Aaron Paul doing that and being just really pissy with Batman, like he is.
It's almost like he's played a role like that before.
Yeah, very similar to Breaking Bad with him and Mr. White, and Mr. White being Batman in this case, Mr. Black, I suppose. And just having Aaron Paul there, who doesn't look like Matt Bomer, who's like this poster boy image of what a Robin should be, and is kind of like, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be my own way, and I'm going to do it my own way. And maybe goes a bit off course and starts killing people when Batman disagrees. And I could see him.
But it's still deep down a good guy.
But it's
like
you could still forgive. I could forgive Aaron Paul's face.
Oh yeah.
If he killed like
I
100
could forgive him
people.
for anything. I'd feel like, oh, Aaron,
Yeah,
not again.
yeah. I feel like I'm to blame. If only I'd believed in him more.
Yeah.
But I feel like Aaron Paul could deliver that perfectly.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh my god, you're agreeing with everything else.
I know.
World first, people.
Something bad is happening. I feel like a bad choice is on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next one is Tim Drake.
Okay.
Now, calm down, people, before I say this next statement. He's not really the most famous Robin, and he doesn't do too much. He was kind of added in after Jason Todd was executed by the fans, and he later on becomes the Red Robin. He does that when Batman dies, inverted commas.
Yeah.
As
a comic death, you mean?
A comic death,
book
yeah.
death.
And then he's the only one who believes that he's still alive, so he becomes a Red Robin to try and find him. My pick for this is obviously someone who's got to be younger than Aaron Paul, as I'm sticking with this whole age thing. Dylan O'Brien. The lead star of Maze Runner.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm still agreeing with you. Something bad is on the way, I know it. It's the apocalypse.
Yeah. Dylan O'Brien, I feel like, again, it kind of... Tim Drake is also another goody two-shoes, similar to Dick Tracy, that there are those...
Dick Tracy.
I keep saying Dick Tracy,
Dick
don't
Grayson.
I? Dick Grayson. Similar to Dick Grayson. And I feel like, like Dylan O'Brien kind of looks like Matt Bomer a bit, like a younger version of him as well.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that Batman always, Tim Drake is the one he adopts. He becomes his adopted son because he likes him so much. He didn't. He may have offered to adopt Dick Grayson. He may have said no because he still cares about his family and such, and his family name because they were so famous. And I feel like Dylan O'Brien being Tim Wayne would work out as well, and that kind of responsibility of trying to both eventually taking over the Bruce enterprise and taking over the Batman mantle.
And he as well is more of a return to the poster boy goody two shoes. This is like who you look up to kind of guy. Yeah.
After having Aaron Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, and then...
Okay. It's got to be a bad one now. Come on.
Moving on to... This was a bit awkward because there's been Stephanie Brown character. She's been Batgirl and a Robin.
Right.
And there's also been Carrie Kelly, who was in the Dark Knight Returns.
Something like that, yeah. The really famous one that neither of us can name, yeah.
That Frank Miller, the graphic novel that he did.
The one that they sort of used to base off
Batman v Superman, yeah.
And Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
My choice for that, mainly because of Kick-Ass, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
Oh, yes!
I've
still got one more, but 4 for 4. Oh, my God. Yeah. Chloe Grace Moretz, just because of... She was a Robin, a really kick-ass Robin in...
Basically, yeah.
In Kick-Ass. Like, she basically has done this already, and she would be... There's not many actresses that I would believe could be kicking ass.
Yeah.
At 15, I believe that she was like murdering.
At like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was really young in that, and I believed it. And I think it would be quite challenging for a young girl to convince me that, you are.
And at that point as well, Batman's a bit more battle hardened and not as nice, and she could do the
job.
Almost like not the like abused daughter, but you know what I mean. The kind of
wow.
All right, that maybe was taken too far, but he doesn't give her as much.
Yeah, because he's because he's already what he's done to Jason Todd. Nightwing probably hates him by this point, and Tim Drake, whatever, don't know, Red Robin in around.
He's just about.
Yeah, and then have Chloe Grace Moretz. I can see that she could be that persistent, like, I'm going to help you, and then he's like, no, you don't have the job, you don't, but she still does the job, kind of thing. And I think, she'll be pretty cool. I think she'll do it really well.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't seen her in that much stuff outside of Kick-Ass, but the things I have seen, I'm pretty convinced.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And then on to my final one.
Okay, this is a big one. Can you go 5 for 5?
This is Damian Wayne.
Okay.
So this is the son of Batman. This is the guy who, from a very young age, climbed his first mountain at like 4.
Yeah, standard stuff.
Yeah. Killed his first man at like 2, and he's been, he's been killing people ever since. And then Batman meets him at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone with the actor is, I think he's like just turned 20, but he looks very young.
I know exactly who you're going for.
Asa
Butterfield, yeah.
Butterfield.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
I feel like he's got that intensity in his eyes.
Yeah.
Of like, leave me alone, Dad. I just want to kill people, Dad. You're not my real dad. Well, you are, but shut up.
Yeah, and he's a proper boy face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got the boy face, and I can see him just being annoyed all the time.
Yeah.
And just like, no, I'm going to do it my way. Like, you can't control me. I'm this master assassin already at the age of 10.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm leaving. And then Bruce being Ben Affleck just being like, oh, Jesus. Ah!
I am legally obliged to look after you.
Having to stop him from murdering people all the time.
Yeah.
I think Asa could do that convincing, and as well, more importantly, I think you could see Asa. I feel like he can portray it that he eventually turns to Batman's way of thinking, that he has come from that, you know, because he's been trained by Ra's al Ghul. Like that's all he knows, and I feel like if he spent enough time with Batfleck, he could play both roles. He could be the hardened guy, and then he can be like, actually, yeah, you've got some truth there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this 5 for 5?
I cannot believe you
Killed it.
more than all of our other videos put together.
Yeah.
Where you suggest 3 an episode, you have got more in this one than ever. Yeah, I don't have any issues with any of those really.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Well,
Yeah.
this is our little cast.
Yeah, for the Robin film.
Yeah, I would just love it if they did all 5. Not necessarily my suggestions that I've given, but if they did actually bring in all of the Robins. We've discussed in another video here whether a Robin could work, but I would love to see each single one just appear.
Do you mean in the same film?
Not in the same film necessarily.
Just like
Maybe.
each one gets a 15-minute segment with like chatting with Batman.
And then you're like, what happened to the other guy?
Yeah.
Why has he changed? Like, oh, I'm a different one. I feel like Zack Snyder is working toward that anyway.
Yeah.
He's
He likes characters, that Zack Snyder.
yeah, and he likes introducing as many as he can. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it works out sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. Who do you think should play all of the Robins?
Yeah.
Either suggest everyone or don't suggest at all.
And as well, we're taking in suggestions for future topics for us to talk about.
Mhm.
So if you can, I'll put the email here. hello@thirdactfilm.com and just send us some suggestions or leave us some in the comments and we'll get to them. Thanks for listening.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
I think, yeah, that's probably going to be the biggest one of the year.
What film was that? Sorry.
You know, don't make me say it.
Can you just say out loud for us? But what better way to motivate Nick Fury to do something than to tell him not to do something?